Justin, and I see some of the smiles already. So, can anybody tell me who this athlete is right here? Without looking at me. In the back.
Tony Romo.
Do you know what he is like? What mainly? What comes to thought when you think of Tony Romo?
He's a really bad quarterback.
All right. So that's pretty much what anybody would say. He's a choker, whatever. But I'm here to tell you that he's actually one of the best quarterbacks in the league statistically, and actually he could put up some wins. So actually, I'm a Dallas fan. I've been a Dallas fan since I was very little. So he's pretty much been the quarterback I've watched growing up, and he is one of the he really is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's really underrated. I mean, like you say, like people bring up his name, like, oh, Romo, what happened, So like, okay, but he is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and he has overcome many things in his career. He has shown great leadership, and like he always gives 100% no matter what deficit or anything he has to deal with. Deals with adversity very greatly. Obviously, Dallas Cowboys quarterback, you're going to get a lot of negative thoughts towards you. And he is capable of winning games under pressure. So my first point is that he shows leadership. So even when it's not his fault, he always takes the blame. I mean, it could be like, oh, defense allowed 500 yards, Tony Romo's fault. All right, that's cool, whatever. But I mean, don't get me wrong, he has mess-ups, but so does every other quarterback in the league. I mean, it just happens. You have to be human to mess up. But still, even when it's not his fault or generally it's around the team, he takes that in, and I think that shows what kind of player he is and what leadership he shows. I think he demonstrates his leadership through his toughness too. He's played through a lot of serious injuries, like examples would be a herniated disc, broken finger, and a punctured lung. And actually, he's won some of the games with these injuries, which, I mean, that's almost unheard of. That's freaking amazing. That's something stats won't show you. So, yep. And then according to SL Price from Sports Illustrated, he's the most talked about quarterback that deals with adversity that is even unfootball related. I mean, all right, so the guy, I give him props. He dated Jessica Simpson and Carrie Underwood. So, I mean, sometimes, when that happened, like, that was more talked about than what he did on the field. I mean, like, they lost the game. Oh, it was Jessica Simpson. Like, okay, great distraction. So, I thought that was kind of funny to throw in. All right, which brings me to my second point. Despite all the adversity he goes through, he's statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Being a Dallas Cowboy quarterback, you have big expectations. It's a historic franchise, championships or whatever. So, yep, there is expectations. But since the years he's played, he does not have a Super Bowl or a championship, in other words. But he has put up numbers and records. I pulled up some graphs on here. This one, it says quarterback stats in their losses in 2013. Romo has 17 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions in losses. So, I mean, that kind of shows that he does really good, and it's not really all him that loses the game. So, yep, and then this is some passer rating. He actually has one of the top passer ratings in the fourth quarter of all time, which I thought is really cool. So, yeah, I think he gets way more criticism than he deserves. And according to Herald Tribune, Romo has 21 comebacks, which is a Dallas Cowboy record. So that's pretty clutch. And this brings me to my third point. He is capable of winning under pressure. I think this is probably the most important point right here. I mean, he does have a lot of mess-ups, but he has the highest QBR, which is quarterback rating, in the fourth quarter of games through any quarterback, that any play. Joe Montana, Tom Brady, anybody. So that's, and then this is my favorite, his ability to escape. These are just some pictures that shows pulled up, just like him getting away and just like extending plays, showing what kind of athlete he actually is. So that's what kind of makes him kind of one of my favorite players, is that he could scramble around and just extend plays. You never know what you're going to get with him. So he makes the game that much more exciting. According to Kay Daniels from the Dallas Cowboys magazine, The Star, in 2013, Romo in week 16 kept Dallas in the playoff hunt with the win. He actually came back, and that was actually the same game he herniated his lower disc in his back, which I mean, playing through a herniated disc back, I could lead to some serious damage. Just saying, that shows his toughness and just tying some points back. But yeah, 24-23 comeback, he won and kept them in the playoffs, or kept them in the hunt for the playoffs. So yeah, in conclusion, he's one of the best, I believe. He shows great leadership, always gives 100% no matter what he's dealing with, adversity or injury. Despite the adversity, he always puts up big numbers. You know, these other numbers, he's always compared to quarterbacks like Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach. He's probably, by the time his career is done, be number 1 or number 2 all time, which is pretty cool. And then he's capable of winning under pressure. You know, I talked about the comeback wins. He has 21 comebacks, and then just keeping his team alive. So I don't know. I think he got to show great leadership, and he gets way more, way more credit, or not enough credit for what he does. So yeah, and then those are my sources and my presentation.